recently asked India for more medicines and medical equipment, and it has also invited Indian companies to help rebuild the country. Its foreign minister also termed India Vishwaguru, invited the PM to Kiev, and urged to be considered for the G20. Further, earlier the EU had wanted India to step in to speak up against Russia's invasion. So, what do you make of this sudden cozying up to India? And do you see any changes in Indo Russia relations?
Right, great question. So one term that really annoys me is Vishwaguru. I don't want India to be Vishwaguru. I want India to be the number one economically strong nation in the world. You can only be a guru, and you can only be prosperous, and you can only be culturally advanced if you have sufficient uh, excess money. You know, what do you do with your excess money? Certain nations do certain things with it, and so with excess wealth. So once you have sufficient wealth to feed your population and take care of the basics, then you're gonna make have excess wealth. Now that is what comes in handy when it comes to building culture and becoming a Vishwaguru. So first of all, we have to think of the uh, economic and military angle, and only then afterwards, when we have dealt with all the issues, can we think of being a Vishwaguru. So Indians have this wonderful compulsion, this wonderful uh, idea that India should be Vishwaguru. No, India should be the most powerful nation in the world. Then in the future, we may or may not become Vishwaguru. That's not that important. So if other nations are trying to use the term Vishwaguru for us, it is a blatant and a naked attempt at flattery. So flattery always worked with India in the past. You flatter the Indian diplomats and the Indian government, oh, they will do anything you want. Well, it's not going to work anymore. This is 2023 or whichever year it is, and this India and this Indian government and this this diplomatic dispensation is very different. Flattery doesn't work. So the Ukrainians want Indian companies to come and rebuild the country. Let the war end, then we will think about rebuilding your country. The war, it may proceed in certain directions that the country may no longer exist in, who knows how long. Or maybe Ukraine becomes another Korea like situation, a divided nation. That's a possibility. North Korea, South Korea. So rebuilding the country, we can think of it after the war is over. It's too early to think about rebuilding the country. And secondly, if you want us to rebuild your country, what is our ROI? You want us to rebuild means you want us to invest our money in your country. All right, wonderful. What ROI are you offering us? What is the return on investment you're offering us? In business, it's all about return on investment. I'm going to make an investment if I can safely say that okay, it's not always safe, but I can project within reasonable
Project profitability. Yeah.
projections that within a certain amount of time I can recoup my money and then make a certain amount of profit. Well,
Yeah.
that's how the world works. It's not all charity. Now they want medicines and all. Yeah, sure, we can send some medicines and we can send some stuff. We even sent medicines and equipment and rescue teams to Turkey, who are Pakistan's allies. So we are willing to help even the enemy. So that from that perspective, we can certainly send some charitable equipment, some charity to Ukraine. We can do that. But listen, Ukraine is not India's friends. They're not our friends. The EU has to first of all prove that it is India's. Well, there are no friendships in geopolitics, but it is favorably inclined towards India. Recently what happened is that which nation was it, Serbia or whichever it was, it has applied to become part of the EU, and one of the conditions was that they need to stop giving Indians visa on arrival. So these
Yeah.
actions, they tell a certain story. Yeah, that the EU is not that favorably inclined towards India, predisposed towards India. So if such is your attitude towards India, then why should we give you gifts for free? You want us to talk to Russia and have them stop the war? Why? What is in it for us? That's see, war is bad. Let's make no mistake about it. War is bad. War is terrible. War hurts so many people, especially defenseless innocent people, men, women, children. But war has always been a fact of life. You look at the past 10,000 years of human history. All geopolitical events are essentially done on the back of war. So warfare has always been part of human activity. I am not a fan of war, but warfare is a fact of life. It happens all the time. The Americans are the biggest warmongers in the world. Look at their history in the past 200 years. So if the Europeans or whoever else wants the war to end, let's try and understand why the war started in the first place. Why did the war start in the first place? Something triggered it off. What was it that triggered it off? It was NATO's relentless eastward expansion that eventually forced the Russians to take certain actions that they really did not want to take. So if the blame for the war lies somewhere, it's not with Russia, it's with the NATO, it's with the EU. So if they want the war to end, they need to take certain steps to make it end. It's not our prerogative, it's not our responsibility to mediate in a war or to end a war that they have started. So all of this talk is nice. Obviously, if there is something tangible in it for us, then we can think about it. Yes, but offer us something tangible. That is simply the way the world works. It's all about give and take. That's how geopolitics is. It's about power, it's about resources, and so on. So if they want us to play a role in maybe mediating a negotiated end to the conflict, they have to offer us something tangible. Otherwise, why should we go and spend our energy and time and resources in trying to end somebody else's fight? It's not our fight. It doesn't affect us. It's actually benefiting us. We are getting so much discounted oil from Russia, which we were not getting earlier. The Russians were earlier cozying up with Pakistan to a certain extent. That has to some extent ended. So why should we do things that are not in our
In
that are
our
going to be
interest.
disadvantageous to us? So that's what I would say about this.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार.